Americans appear to be reversing their views on having babies out of wedlock. In 2002, 45% felt it was morally acceptable. Well, now 61% say it's acceptable. Reverend Jennifer Crumpton is a political commentator, author of the new book, Femme Evangelical. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. The Modern Girl's Guide to the Good News. Vera Gibbons, personal finance expert, and Jacqueline Newman is a family and marriage law attorney. Great group to analyze this. Ladies, welcome. So, Jacqueline, let me start with you, because from an attorney's point of view, do you see a lot of couples who come in to see you who might have children, but they're not married? You seen on that side of things too?
I'm seeing a lot of that. A lot of people are coming in now, they want, just parenting agreements. We have a lot of people that are doing the Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell relationships, and I think that it's really becoming much more of a trend.
What are the downsides to that?
There are downsides to it. From a financial standpoint, if anything. There are marital rights that you get when you're ultimately married. So when you have somebody, let's say a non-moneyed spouse who comes in and doesn't want to get married, they're married, they're together for a long time, they're raising children, sacrificing their careers, and then they ultimately break up, and that person might not be eligible, will not be eligible for spousal support.
The problem I have with this is that the people who are doing it predominantly are low-income people, not that educated, and they're setting their kids off they're bringing the kids into the world like at a total disadvantage.
You're talking about a totally different thing than what she's saying.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
Yes. So I think
I know why people are getting married later for any number of reasons, because they haven't found the right spouse, or they don't have the right, they're not financially ready.
But you're talking from an economic point of view, that you worry that a high percentage of these women are not, they're just having babies on their own. They're not in a committed relationship.
Right. I know a lot of the babies that are coming to this world are coming out of committed relationships. People just live together, but those dissolve much faster than marriages. So that's what I'm concerned about.
I think that people are realizing that while marriage provides legal and social protections, it doesn't automatically mean that people are good parents. What I think we're seeing in this poll is a shift in the definition of morality in America. People are asking, is morality really just a blanket enforcement of old rules, or is a moral society one that works together to non-judgmentally and open-mindedly solve our most intractable problems? And I think people are catching on to the fact that marriage and morality doesn't necessarily equal healthy, happy families, as evidenced by the Duggars. There was sexual abuse and incest going on with the picture of the pinnacle of morality.
Right. I think one of the issues that a lot of people will think, though, about this study is fatherless homes. And back to your point, maybe, Vera, that if you're not in a committed relationship and you're having children, there's all kinds of studies that say that that's not necessarily beneficial to the child.
That's my problem that I was trying to get at. It's not beneficial for the child. They have more emotional problems, behavioral problems. They tend to take a similar path where they're not able to make any money down the line. They go into poverty, whatever the case may be. So that's my concern, is just the disadvantages that the children are at when you have these low-income people who are not financially savvy or don't have the financial acumen. Those are the kids that they're bringing in.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just want to bring out this fact and figure, because the first poll we showed is how people's mindset is changing. But the actual percent of U.S. births to unmarried women has gone up a lot. 2002, 34% of all births. 2013, 40.6% of all births in the U.S. unmarried. That's an amazing stat to me.
Well, I think we're seeing that because women are more economically and socially and politically empowered now, and I think that's a good thing. There are women who are making decisions because they can't find the right mate, or they can't find somebody responsible enough, who are Christian women even, who are going into their 40s.
It'd be interesting to see, though, the percentage of that. Of the 40.6%, I would love to know what percentage of that are, highly educated working women who are making that choice.
That's what I think, and I think that what's going on now is that, women are they're having jobs, they're getting married later in life, and they're freezing eggs, they're doing all sorts of things, and I think that is ultimately, they're putting themselves in a situation where they don't need a man to ultimately have children.
But the two-parent household is still better for the kids.
But if you look back at marriage historically, it was started as an institution where families sold their girls or traded their girls to men that they didn't want to be with in order to be childbearers and produce progeny. So, marriage has changed a lot. Families have changed a lot. There's a lot of bumps and starts, but for the most part, I think humanity senses that changes in the family structure and the way things are with marriage can be a good thing if we focus on that.
It's very interesting to look at how we change and what our thoughts are as time goes on. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, you may know him, speaking of time going on, Scream.